I mean, come on. Are you really that surprised I like this movie? Do you know who you're talking to? You are talking to a 2000s kid that grew up on these pre MCU Marvel movies. That grew up with Daredevil, that grew up with Sam Raimi's Spider Man, that grew up with Punisher, that grew up with all of those. And I grew up with this one too. Now, yes, to be fair, I didn't get to watch it until like 2008 because since I wasn't as into the pop culture zeitgeist as I am now, I didn't really pay attention to that stuff back then. And I more found this movie on pure chance, not knowing it was even a Marvel movie. Because in this one place I used to live at, my mom's then boyfriend had this box of movies. Just a box of movies sitting like a corner somewhere or something. And I was looking through that box, looking for something to watch one day, because I had already watched everything that was in my mom's cabinet. So I went through there. I saw this movie called Fantastic Four. I thought it looked pretty cool. I stuck it in, and I had a really good time. Now, is it better than Sam Raimi's Spider-Man? Oh, hell no, not even close. But it's not really a fair comparison either. See, Fantastic Four is one of those movies that's more of a proof of concept. And yes, I know it's not the original Fantastic Four movie because it was a movie from, the 80s or 90s that never got properly released? I guess, I don't know. I've never seen it and I don't really have time or plan to, sorry. But to me, this is the original Fantastic Four because I had never seen any of the animations that had them. I never read any of the comic books that had them. This was my introduction to the characters. So naturally, I'm going to be very nostalgic talking about this movie. And even now, I still really like this movie. Sure, it's not fantastic. Pun intended, thank you very much. But I think it's still a pretty good time. It's a fun movie. It's just plain flat out fun. One of those movies where you just turn your brain off and have fun. And that's kind of what you get here. Because, yeah, basic origin story. Doom gets a weird retooling of his original origin that's really dumb and stupid. The effects have not aged well. The writing is hit or miss. The pacing is all over the place, but you know what? I have fun, damn it, so I'm gonna praise this movie anyway. So, without further ado or delay, let's talk about this movie, why I enjoy it, why I still will actively defend it, and why I think it is more than worth your time as you watch up to the release of First Steps. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, which is for anything and everything animation, including a family of super-powered, crazy superheroes, as well as TV and movies. I'm your host, Jackson Small. Welcome to a marathon I'm going to call First Family. And why is it called First Family? Well, because the Fantastic Four were the first family in Marvel Comics, so naturally, I thought it was the best subtitle to use for this little marathon that we have here. And that means we are going to be looking at the bad ones too, unfortunately. But hey, let's deal with the good one first. And yes, I do think this movie is good, even now. Yes, it has a lot of problems, we're going to talk about them, and it's not a great movie. But, like I said, this movie's just fun. So, let me have my fun, okay? I'm 24, damn it. Let me have fun. Here's my review of Fantastic Four. No spoilers, as always. I hope you enjoy. Here we go. I'm not sure if I've said it before or not, but these cheesy 2000s non-MCU superhero films that, with a few obvious exceptions like Batman Begins and the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, etc., have been punching bags for critics, are some of my personal favorites of the subgenre. Yes, as an adult, with a fully developed brain, I recognize that they're not great in terms of overall critical quality, and very widely not good in terms of actual accuracy to the source material. But they were some of my first introductions to these worlds and characters as a kid, so I'm always going to have that nostalgia deep in my heart that makes me not hate them and makes me want to pass them on to my own future children whenever that happens. So, yeah, I don't hate these movies and I never will hate them. Sorry. Daredevil, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man 3, movies people have relentlessly crapped on for the past 20 years that I still love and cherish even to this day. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to love all of them, it just means that I defend and love most of them. Just so you're aware. And this original Fantastic Four movie from 2005 is definitely among those that I really enjoy personally. Sure, I didn't see it for the first time until 2008, since I was a kid that wasn't as in tune with the zeitgeist as I am now. I mean, I'm the guy that listened to country and metal while everyone else was listening to Britney Spears. That should tell you everything right there. But when I did, I had a great time, and I've rewatched it a lot since. One of my most rewatched Marvel movies, by the way. I can't say the same for the sequel, but that's for another day. Yeah, the sequel I will not defend because I hated it as a kid and I still hate it now. That's for another review. Fantastic Four 2005 is a really fun comic book movie that's still a great time, even now. But it's not without its faults. The acting is pretty good, especially Michael Chiklis as the Thing, and of course Chris Evans as the Human Torch. I mean, one of the best portrayals of any comic book character in the Fox Marvelverse. They literally brought him back for the funniest moment in Deadpool and Wolverine, so I mean, that's gotta count for something. The story, while simple, is well done. It is an origin story, but it's a very well told and well done origin story. The effects are okay for 2005. It is CGI, and it does look kind of bad now, but you have to remember, early 2000s CGI, unless you're Lord of the Rings, was not very good. So you kind of have to put yourself in that mindset. Not to mention, again, cheesy, corny 2000 superhero movie. This was like the norm back then. Even the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man had that problem. So, yeah, the CGI, it's bad by today's standards, but for the standards of back then, it was perfectly okay. And, as an adult, I especially love that they did the thing with old school practical effects. That is what makes this thing my personal favorite, and I highly doubt that the new one's going to top it, because instead of doing a full CGI thing like they've been doing for every other Fantastic Four movie, this one, kind of harkening back to that unreleased original movie, decided to do the thing in full practical effects. And it looks really damn good because of it. Like, even now, this version of the thing looks really good. Like, again, early 2000s movie. You don't get to say that very often. Again, unless you're Lord of the Rings or Pirates of the Caribbean. But especially for a comic book movie back then, this effect is impressive. It's a really impressive bodysuit. I find myself buying into it a lot more than some of the other practical versions of these superhero things. And I definitely enjoy it more than I like CGI. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe that's just the horror nut side of me talking, but I will always love, adore, and champion practical effects whenever they can be done. And here they did it, and it looks really damn good because of it. The characters are solid. They're exactly how you expect them to be. Humor is surprisingly pretty funny, mostly because of Johnny's banter and how he plays off of the Thing most of the time throughout the movie. That's some of the funniest moments in the movie, and also led to the one and only funny scene in the sequel that we'll talk about in that review. The Stan Lee cameo as Willie the Postman was cool. It was a cool way to have him in there as a character from the comic books. And while it is like a kind of blink and you'll miss it thing, and it's not really funny, it's still a really cool little cameo. And after all, since it's been a few years since he left this earth, of course it's going to get me a little emotional seeing it again. That's just how it goes. Julian McMahon, rest in peace, dude. This review is literally dedicated to you. Rest in peace, man. was a pretty good on-screen Doctor Doom. He was the first version of Doctor Doom we ever saw on screen. Again, remember, that other one was never properly released, so this is technically the first fully theatrical version of Doctor Doom. And even though I think his new origin is stupid and dumb and makes no sense, I do really like Julian McMahon as this character, and the way that he slowly transitions into this over-the-top bad guy. And not to mention the look back then is also pretty good too. The action is fun. It's not anything groundbreaking, but it's fun. The music is great. Music is great. That's one of the things about these 2000s superhero movies that I think a lot of people can mostly agree on. The music in these movies is actually really good most of the time. The runtime is brisk. It's a very short movie, even by today's standards. And rewatchability is pretty high. Again, one of my most rewatched Marvel movies ever, even now. However, Doom's new origin in this incarnation is pretty dumb. I'm sorry, I hate this new Doom's origin story. It's stupid, it's contrived, it's predictable, and it's just plain dumb. The plot is predictable, it's an origin story, everything goes exactly how you expect it to go. The final battle is kind of weak. There's not really much of a battle, per se, but it's whatever. The writing is hit or miss. Every now and then there's a dumb line of dialogue or a stupid character moment that makes you roll your eyes, but unlike Silver Surfer, it doesn't leave you actively questioning if they actually watched the source material or not. Or read the source material, excuse me. And the pacing is very erratic. This is one of those movies that has very bad pacing. Like, it starts out okay, slow-ish in the first few bits to go through like how the characters go to space and how they get affected by this space stuff that turns them into these super-powered characters. But then when we start getting into the other stuff, it's either too slow or too fast. And it's a bummer, because I feel like if it was paced a little better, it would be an even better movie that gets more respect. It's not fantastic, but it's still a pretty good first attempt, and even 20 years later, it's a lot of fun to watch. Give it a go if you haven't already. Don't listen to the critics. This movie is fun if you just turn your brain off and just enjoy some goofy, fun, comedic superhero action. And if you love these cheesy 2000 superhero movies like me, you're going to have a great time. Final verdict for this movie is a 7 out of 10. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's enjoyable, it's rewatchable. It's just fun. I don't know what else to say. This movie is just plain fun. Alright, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. Feel free to let me know your thoughts and opinions and childhood memories on this movie in the comments down below if you were part of the same generation as me. And, gotta turn off the smile because these other two movies suck massive balls. Unfortunately. See you next time for the undefendable crap pile that is Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. In other words, how to waste a good concept in 90 minutes. See you next time.
I'm excited for what comes up ahead. Hey, shall we ride?